Chapter 7 of The Absent Author. Dink, Josh, and Ruth Rose left Mavis at Elle's diner, then headed for Dink's house. Dink made tuna sandwiches and lemonade. Ruth Rose brought a bag of potato chips and some raisin cookies from our house next door. They ate at the picnic table in Dink's backyard. Dink took a bite of his sandwich. After he swallowed, he said, "Let's go over what we know." He moved his lemonade glass to the middle of the table. "My glass is the airport," he said. "We know Wallace landed." "How do we know he did?" Josh asked. "The airport told me the plane landed, Josh, and Maureen Higgins said she picked him up," Ruth Rose added. "Okay, so your glass is the airport," Josh said. "Move on, Dink." Dink slid his sandwich plate over next to his glass. "My plate is Maureen's taxi." He put the cookie on the plate. "The cookie is Wallace getting into the taxi." Dink slid the plate over to the open potato chip bag. "This bag is the hotel." He walked the Wallace cookie from the plate into the bag. Dink looked at Josh and Ruth Rose. "But what happened to Wallace after he walked into the lobby?" "I'll tell you what happened," Josh said. He lined up 4 cookies in a row. "This little cookie is Mr. Paskey. These 3 are Maureen, Mr. Linkletter, and Olivia Nugent." Josh looked up and waggled his eyebrows. "I think these 4 cookies planned the kidnapping together." Ruth Rose laughed. "Josh, Mr. Paskey and Olivia Nugent are friends of ours. Do you really think they planned this big kidnapping? And can you see Mr. Linkletter and my babysitter pulling off a kidnapping together?" Josh ate a potato chip. "Well, maybe not, but someone kidnapped the guy. Our trail led us to the hotel, then it ended." Dink said, "What I want to know is, if Wallace isn't in his room, where is he?" Dink nibbled on a cookie thoughtfully. "I'm getting a headache trying to sort it all out." Ruth Rose dug in Dink's backpack and brought out 3 Wallace books. "I have an idea." She handed books to Dink and Josh and kept one. "What are these for?" Dink asked. "Josh made me think of something Wallace wrote in The Mystery in the Museum," Ruth Rose said. "He said, the more you know about the victim, the easier it is to figure out who did the crime." She turned to the back cover of the book. "So let's try to find out more about our victim. Listen to this." She started reading out loud. "When not writing, the author likes to work in the garden. Naturally, Wallace's favorite color is green." "Fine," said Josh. "But how does knowing his favorite color help us find him, Ruth Rose?" "I don't know, but maybe if we read more about him, we'll discover some clues," Ruth Rose said. "What does it say on the back of your book?" Josh flipped the book over and began reading. Wallace lives in a castle called Moose Manor." He looked up. "We already know where he lived in a castle. I don't see any clues yet. You guys?" Ruth Rose stared at Josh. "You know something is bugging me, but I can't figure out what it is. Something someone said today. Maybe." She shook her head. "Anyway, read yours, Dink." Dink read from the back cover of his book. Wallace gives money from writing books to help preserve the wild animals that live in Maine." "Okay, he gives money away to save animals' lives in a castle. Lives in a castle and grows a bunch of green stuff," Josh said, counting on his fingers. "Still clueless." Josh took another cookie. "But I just thought of something." He began slowly munching on the cookie. Dink raised his eyebrows. "Are you going to tell us, Josh?" "Well, I was thinking about room 302. Remember, someone signed the register right after Wallace checked into 303, and the signature was all smudged, and then Olivia Nugent told us that room 302 had a do not disturb sign on it." Ruth Rose interrupted. "Livy never went into the room at all." Just then, Dink's mother drove up the driveway. She got out of the car, waved and started walking towards the picnic table. "Oh no," Dink said. "If Mom finds out I'm trying to find a kidnapper, she won't let me out of the house. Don't say anything, okay?" Can't I even say hi?" Josh asked. Dink threw a potato chip at Josh. "Say hi, then shut up about you know what." "Hi, Miss Duncan," Josh said, sliding a look at Dink. "Hi, kids. How was the book signing? Tell me all about Wallace Wallace." "Dink, is he as wonderful as you expected?" Dink stared at his mother. Didn't want to lie, but if he told her the truth, she wouldn't let him keep looking for Wallace Wallace. And Dink had a sudden feeling that they were very close to finding him. "We can't stop now," he thought. He looked at his mother, grinned stupidly. "Dink, honey, why is your mouth open?" He smiled. He closed his mouth. "Think, Dink," he ordered himself. Suddenly, Josh knocked over his lemonade glass. The sticky cold liquid spilled into Dink's lap. Dink let out a yawl and jumped up. "Gee, sorry," said Josh. "Paper towels to the rescue." Dink's mother ran towards the house. "Good thinking, Josh," she said, wiping at his wet jeans. "But did you have to spill it on me? You had the whole yard." Josh grinned. "Some people are never satisfied. I got you out of hot water, didn't I?" Right into cold lemonade," Ruth Rose said. Dink blotted his jeans with a handful of paper napkins. "Come on, let's go meet Mavis before my mom comes back. There's something weird happening on the third floor of the Shangri-La."